Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Gotti's Garage. Today's video, we're actually going to be doing brakes on this 1999 Pontiac Grand Prix GTP. Just the front brakes, and it's for a customer. As you can tell right here is the short block. It's a 5.3. It's going to do like a full rebuild. Thinking about doing a turbo build, and that's going into that Mercure. So if you guys are interested in that, hit that subscribe button, go check out some videos. But let's get right into this, and we're going to start with an unboxing video. This is a whole kit from Rock Auto for the front brakes. So it's going to be calipers, rotors, and brake pads with the clips in there. We got O'Reilly's brake fluid and brake cleaner, and we'll unpack it, or, unbox this, show you guys what's exactly inside, and then just get right into this. I got all this on Rock Auto. I will put down in the description the link to all of this, but it comes with 2 brake calipers, 2 brake rotors, and the brake pads with the pad clips. I'm gonna move this car over there, put it on some ramps so we can lift it up, put it on some jack stands so we can take both wheels off at the same time. First thing you want to do is turn the wheel in the way, whichever way exposes the back bolts. So if you were just to change the brake pads, you would take these bolts off, and you can slide this caliper off, leaving the bracket on. That's a great way to do it. But since we're replacing everything on this, we're going to take off these 2 15mm bolts. There's one right there, and then one right down there, right there, I think, one of the 2. But then you got this 10mm bolt right here. You got to take that off for the line. So we're going to go ahead and do that first, because the weight of the caliper can actually rupture these rubber lines. So better be safe than sorry. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Put you on a tripod. Oh, it's a 12. So that's an 11, not a 12. Then you want to take a pry bar, especially if your brakes are bad, and kind of pull it off. This one doesn't seem too rough. So on these, it looks like the inner pad is chewed all the way down, while this outer pad looks pretty good. So yeah, the back of this rotor is pretty bad compared to this. You can feel it, the other rotors are junk. So the rotor is going to be kind of hard to get off. I'll show you guys how to do that. But I'm gonna go ahead and take the other side off, get to this point, so that way I kind of keep working at the same pace. This is where it's kind of tricky sometimes. You want to take a hammer, you want to hit between the lugs on the side, all the way around this thing. So what happens is it rusts under or behind this, and that's what it sticks to. So bigger the hammer, the better. All I have is this little thing, 16 ounce. So we'll see what happens. I'm not gonna put this on camera because it gets really annoying, but I'll let you guys know how it was. Okay, that wasn't bad. 5 hits and it just broke loose, so. And that's what you have afterwards. Then you just put the rotor back on, you assemble the caliper, which I'll show you, but I'm gonna get that other side off first, and I'll be right back. So we got the other side off. It took about twice the time, so not very long at all, but it was definitely worse, just like the other side. Brake pads are actually worse too. Now the brand new rotors, before you put them on, you don't have to, but spray them with brake clean, because they actually put a coating on this so it doesn't rust or anything. So you want to spray that with brake clean, then you go ahead and put it on, and then assemble the caliper, which I'll show you. Okay, now right here we have the brake caliper, the new pads, and then the hardware that it comes with. These are the little copper washers that you put on the line so you can stop fuel leaks. They're like a crush washer. Now if you are not replacing a brand new caliper, you want to take one of your old pads and a C-clamp, clamp it onto this, and you want to push this piston right here all the way back as far as it goes. You'll notice when it stops because it's like impossible to keep going any further. So you want to do that, but since this is a brand new one, the piston is already pushed all the way back, so all we gotta do is put on this hardware and put on the clips or the brake pads, and they're ready to just throw it back on. The hardest part on a brake job, as silly as it sounds for me, are figuring out these clips. I know they only go in one direction, but for some reason I always start off with the wrong direction. But anyways, so on this car specifically, the flat bottom goes down and then it kind of just clips right in there, and what that does is it holds your pads into place. There's one that goes on each side, so here's the second one. I don't know if I'll be able to do it with one hand. No. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that one on, and then I'll put the pads on and I'll show you how the pads go. Pads only go in one direction as well. They kind of go with the curvature of everything, so they're pretty self-explanatory, but I'm trying to be as thorough as I can on this whole thing. All right, just like that, like I said, they go with the curvature, so the round part of the pad will go with the round part of the caliper, and they just slide in to their little slots right here, those clips that you put in, and they can be a little bit tricky, so just take your time and you'll get there. So now we just go ahead and put it on just like normal. You don't have to worry about pushing that piston back or anything. You just bolt it up, 2 bolts, and then we'll worry about that one after we get it bolted. Okay, now hanging the caliper assembly is kind of tricky as well. You gotta make sure that it fits into the rotor easily without any give. You don't want to hammer it on. That means that your piston isn't all the way out, your slide's not pushed back far enough. So make sure it slides on there pretty easily. There might be a little bit of tension, but as long as you can move it back and forth, by your hands instead of using a hammer or pry bar, then you're gonna be okay. Then all you do is just keep moving it back and forth until you can get that 15mm bolt right there to catch the threaded hole on the caliper. So that's the tricky part. You get one, don't tighten it right away because you want to get the bottom one done as well. And then once you get the bottom one threaded, then you can go up here and tighten it if you want. Then yeah, you tighten it to your car's specs, and then I just hand tighten as hard as I can. It's not going to go anywhere. So next is the line. Now this line's very important because like I said, you have these 2 copper, these are the old ones, so I'm not going to use these. But you get these 2 copper washers. Now on this side, you have a smooth spot, but on the line itself, which I will bring down, it's going to leak, but on the line itself, you can see that it has like a ringed kind of mating surface. So on the copper gaskets or the copper washers, you want to put that ring sided onto your line, the flat side on the mating surface. So this side will be against the rotor or the caliper, the other side will be against the bolt itself, tightening it down. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that really quick. Okay, so both sides are done. We got both sides done. Now the next part is a 2-person job. You're gonna need somebody inside with the car running because it's vacuum assisted brake system. So somebody has to be in the car pumping the brakes just over and over and over and over again until you feel it's good or until the pedal starts getting hard, and then you tell them to hold it. As soon as they hold it, you take a 10mm for this car and you crack this line. Now I'm going to show you a little secret on what I do to not make a mess, even though I made a mess, but that way you can at least see if there's air in the lines and when there's no air in the lines, and then also you get to save all the fluid so you're not just wasting fluid. So I will show you guys that trick. I'm gonna go ask my neighbor Matt if he can give me a hand with pumping the brakes, and I'll set the camera up so you guys can see me crack the bleeder and how it kind of works. All right guys, before you start bleeding the brakes, you're gonna want to make sure that your reservoir is full of fluid, because if it goes empty or dry, you're just gonna be sucking air into the system and chasing a problem that you just sometimes overlook. It's easy to overlook that. So after you do one side, you always come back, top it off, you know, then start what you're doing again, top it off, kind of thing. So you can go to the auto parts store and get like a clear rubber hose like this, and it'll hook right onto the end of this bleeder valve. And that way when you crack the lines open, you'll see the fluid run through, whether it has bubbles or solid. If it's solid, then they're bled. If there's bubbles, then you gotta keep bleeding them. All right, you can start pumping. All right, while he's pumping, you always wanna look for leaks, because you're just gonna be chasing problems without any, you know, you're just leaking. All right, he's holding it, so we're gonna open it. All right. All right, hold. All right, bump. All right, 2 more times, baby. All right, so you see how there's 0 air bubbles in the line? All right, hopefully you guys can see, but the car was running, so I'm not sure how much you heard, but anyways, with the clear hose on, you guys can see if there's bubbles in the line. If there is a solid line of brake fluid, that means that there is no more air in the brake lines, and that's exactly what you want. Now you only want to crack this open when you tell the person helping you inside the car to hold the brakes. They're going to hold the brakes, they're going to feel the brakes go to the floor, they stay holding the brakes until you close this line, and then you tell them to start pumping again. They'll start pumping. You just do this process over and over again. It took about 5 times for this side for the air to actually come out of the line. So we're gonna do this other side over here and then take it for a ride. Tires are all on the ground. Both sides are bled. Nothing is leaking on either side. Now it's time to torque down the wheels. Cars, a general like rule of thumb, 110 foot-pounds on a car, 140 on a truck, and I think Rams are like 160 or 180 or something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and torque these down, take it for a test drive. You wanna test the brakes out, you know, do some soft brake pedal or slow down pretty softly and then let it go, and just make sure there's no leaks or anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, we're just backing out, and then we're going to, like I said, do some soft brakes. Just make sure everything is going good. Try to get some quiet roads so we can hear the brakes. I forgot to make an outro for this video, but I hope this video helped you guys out a lot. The person who wanted me to do their brakes got a quote for $600 to do their brakes, and by the time I was done with everything, including parts and labor, it came out to $300. So this video's purpose was to help anybody who pretty much didn't want to pay so much money to get their brakes done for such an easy job. But anyways, mechanic shops, they charge a percentage on the parts, so you pay for the parts, but then they also take a cut of that part cost, and then plus labor. Labor's normally $80 to $100 an hour. It's $85 around me, so I charged $40 an hour for that customer, and they were very happy about that. But yeah, I just wanted to make a video showing you guys an easy way to repair your car and save you a lot of money. So, you know, if it was just me, that was my car, that kit was $170 out the door. That's with tax and shipping and everything like that. It's $170 compared to $600 or even the $300 that I charged to that customer. So you save a lot of money repairing your own car. And if you guys like these kind of videos, hit that subscribe button. If you guys want to see more of these videos, drop down in the comments below and let me know, because I'll be more than willing to show like how-to videos so you can hopefully save some money and start repairing your cars yourselves. Because I mean, a lot go wrong, there's a lot of maintenance and everything like that. Anybody can do with some basic tools. Like that car, for instance, you just needed a crowbar, a ratchet, or 15 millimeter, 11 millimeter, 19 millimeter, or a tire iron for the lug nuts. and a 10mm wrench. I think that's about it. So anybody can do that. You can do that, and I suggest you just give it a try. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have any questions or anything. Maybe I didn't explain something to your understanding. Then you guys also let me know in the comments below, and I answer everybody. So you guys have a great day. Stay different. Go ahead and check out www.gottiesgarage1.com for some merch to help support this channel. And you guys have a wonderful day.